Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. We begin with the latest job numbers released today. The unemployment rate has hit near historic lows, dropping to 3.7% in November. The Labor Department's report showed the U.S. economy added 199,000 jobs last month. The largest jobs increase were seen in healthcare, followed by employment in government, leisure, and hospitality. Our Sonia Ellison joins us now. She tells us if the low unemployment impact is being felt in the southern tier, especially during the busy holiday season.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported for November unemployment decreased to 3.7% with job gains in every sector but retail. Employment decreases were reported by department stores, electronics, and furnishing retailers.
The need to raise salaries is driving businesses to do things in different ways.
Self-checkouts became popular during the pandemic. Most retailers have since relied on more of them to cope with a shortage of labor and increase in customers.
It takes away jobs from people. And in the economy that we have today, we certainly don't need that.
And sometimes I have to wait a long time.
Target recently announced it will try limiting the use of the self-checkouts to those with 10 items or less as a way to shorten wait times.
It's just ironic that as, we shift toward more automation, a lot more of the burden comes back on us. We're doing all the work while simultaneously putting other people out of work.
A rise in online shopping through sites like Amazon is another post-pandemic trend that has impacted the retail sector. Shoppers like the convenience.
It's just so easy. I don't like it. Sometimes you just yield to the easiness of it.
Some think post-pandemic practices like order online pickup look promising.
That, of course, employs more people.
As the retail shopping sector continues to decline, people hope this means retailers will reconsider more personal practices.
I think there should be more of that person-to-person contact anyway. Brings us back to the market as a common meeting place.
Sonia Ellison, Big Fox News, Corning Painted Post.
The Chemung County DA says Shamel Swan has been found guilty for the second-degree murder of Jeremy Shazer. Swan was also found guilty of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Swan could face 25 years to life for the homicide and 15 years for the weapons charge. His next court date is February 5th. In January, Shazer was found shot inside a car at the Country Tavern on West Miller Street in Elmira, and then died at the hospital. Arnott Health reports that patients have seen a rise in spam phone calls that are trying to gain personal information. Patients have gotten calls from what appears to be Ira Davenport, St. Joseph's, or Arnott Ogden Medical Center. If you get a call like this, tell the caller you'll call back, then hang up. Call the main office of the facility they say they're calling from to report the call on a secure line. Guthrie patients may be affected by a data management company breach. Patients may get a letter mailed from WellTalk Incorporated saying their server was exploited by an unknown actor on May 30th. Patient addresses, birth dates, email addresses, name provider information, medical record number information all may have been impacted. Guthrie says no Social Security, credit card, or financial information was compromised. The presidents of top universities are attempting to backtrack now after facing major backlash for failing to condemn calls for genocide of Jews on their campuses. Molly Line has the latest from Cambridge.
With anti-Semitism reaching a fever pitch on college campuses across America, presidents from some of the country's top universities are facing major backlash after dodging questions during a congressional hearing on the topic.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context.
The presidents of Harvard, MIT, and UPenn all failing to flatly say calls for the genocide of Jews on their campuses are against the rules. Now some are attempting to clarify their answers. UPenn President Elizabeth McGill backtracking.
The call for genocide of Jewish people is a call for some of the most terrible violence human beings can perpetrate.
Meanwhile, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says the UPenn board now has a very serious decision to make regarding McGill.
It should not be hard to condemn genocide.
And Harvard President Claudine Gay also releasing a statement saying, "Let me be clear, calls for violence or genocide against the Jewish community or any religious or ethnic group are vile. They have no place at Harvard, and those who threaten our Jewish students will be held to account." But some say these statements after the fact are too little, too late.
We expected to see moral clarity, but we got moral depravity from all of these presidents.
The White House also condemning the testimonies this week. A spokesperson writing, "It's unbelievable that this needs to be said. Calls for genocide are monstrous and antithetical to everything we represent as a country." In Cambridge, Massachusetts, Molly Line, Fox News.
Hunter Biden is now facing federal charges for tax evasion and filing false returns. He could face up to 17 years in prison. As Doug Luzader reports from Washington, his attorney says this is all because of politics.
Hunter Biden has been in and out of court before, but what's detailed in this new federal indictment could mean years in prison. The president's son is accused of dodging more than $1 million in taxes.
It shows these massive amounts of money going to Hunter Biden from Romania, Ukraine, China, all these sources. And it also shows a knowing and continual effort to evade taxes, to commit criminal acts.
Where did the money go? Federal prosecutors point to $1.6 million in ATM withdrawals, more than $600,000 in payments to various women, nearly $200,000 for adult entertainment. Hunter Biden's attorney says the back taxes have since been paid, adding that if Hunter's last name was anything other than Biden, the charges in Delaware and now California would not have been brought. Republicans in the House, meantime, are expected to press forward with an impeachment inquiry against President Biden, attempting to connect him to Hunter's overseas business deals.
I think we've been very transparent with the bank records and expressed our concerns about suspicious transactions, multiple bank violations, FBI documents suggesting bribery. This is something that Congress should investigate.
Back in July, the White House was asked about the likelihood of a presidential pardon.
From a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No. Well, I just said no. I just answered. Go ahead.
We have your complete weekend forecast coming up next. Plus this.
Caffeine lovers, listen up. Your energizing drink could be doing more than just keeping you awake. I'm Jackie Ibanez with a look at how much caffeine is too much. That's all straight ahead.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening. We have a weekend full of changes. Now, conditions are still looking to stay on the quieter side here, at least for the next 12 to 24 hours as we stay under mostly clear skies tonight. And even with the clear skies that we have in place, as typically in the winter months, we would watch those temperatures tumble. We actually hang on to a low of 35 degrees as we have a warmer air mass overhead underneath some of those light southerly winds. Some patchy fog can't be ruled out as well to start off the day, as we are going to be watching some moisture lifting in. Now, Saturday does generally stay quiet with those mild temperatures. Where attention is going to be drawn is a strong system that is going to be pushing on through the area Sunday into Monday, coming with a few different concerns. And then behind that system, we will work into some seasonal sunshine for much of the week. Now, here as we roll into our Saturday, we will note that we'll be underneath those mostly sunny skies with some increasing cloud cover by the end of the day, with a high topping off at 54 degrees, bringing us 15 degrees above normal with those light southerly winds. But we are keeping an eye on Sunday's outlook, as what we'll have is that we'll have our first low pressure system pushed on throughout the day, and that is going to bring one heavy rain with it and two even some rumbles of thunder before there's going to be a secondary cold front passage into Monday that could cause for the transition from rain showers over to some snow showers, especially with some lake effect closer to areas like the Binghamton and more of our eastern regions. So we are keeping an eye on the threat. Eastern areas is definitely where the higher flooding threat and that snow threat is in place, but all impacts will be felt across the local area. So rolling through the forecast, Saturday does start off again with some sunshine, passing cloud cover, generally pretty quiet day. By the time we work towards sunset, cloud cover continues to increase, becomes more dense, and then as we head into Sunday morning, there's that first round of some rain showers that will bring some moderate downpours. We even see that the Sunday morning rain showers could even bring us an initial ½ inch of rain, and then we'll continue rain showers throughout the day Sunday into that Monday morning before there will be that transition over to some snow showers. So still noting that this doesn't include the entire weekend system, so still some adjustments there. Again, there are already some flood alerts in place for mainly areas off towards the east of Elmira, but the expansion of those alerts across the local area will be a possibility, really depending on timing of frontal systems, as we have a lot of moisture moving in all the way from the Gulf of Mexico, as well as the Atlantic feeding into that as well. So keep in mind, flooding will be a concern, but we get to that on Sunday. Enjoy a beautiful Saturday, especially if you're not ready for winter yet, because this is definitely not usually seen in December, with sunshine and 50s with light winds. Now we head into Sunday, we keep the 50s, keeping us mostly rain showers, but then we have that cold front passage, secondary cold front passage, that will bring us more winter-like temperatures, some lake response there possible, and then we'll work into some drier conditions with December-like temperatures.